Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. We are, if you're following in the booklet, page 47, number 30, mental processing. So this has a lot to do with cognitive processes and your mental processes, like basically how your mind works. So not only is it help facilitate a shift in consciousness, helps to shift over into like the intuitive mind, but it also sharpens the intellectual mind. And it's tied to the activation of the mental permanent atom, which is also known as the blue pearl or the inner eye. You know, it's good to come at the blue pearl or the inner eye from a lot of different angles, just so we start to live in a state where that is activated in a state of oneness rather than just trying to stimulate it all the time. So you could think of this as a way of like fortifying that aspect. So this helps with most mental processes and helps to regulate the mind, quiet the mind, and make our mind a little bit sharper. So with that, the blend that we're using is called Mind. So let's go ahead and pull that out. And we're going to start with the standard approach. Okay, so you have your blend. You're beginning to inhale. Your awareness is on the left-hand side of your body. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the whole left side of your body. Left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder, ribs, your left hip, down the outer ankle, or down the outer leg to the left outer ankle, I should say. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. You're still on the left side of your body. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Move your awareness to the front side of the body, the face, throat, chest, abdomen, the pelvis, down the front of the legs to the tops of your feet. Your awareness is on the right side of your body. Right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder, your right hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. Here on the right side, you're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The whole backside of your body. Backside of your head, back of the neck, down your whole back, your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. And then pause and be still. Just pause and be still. Just let that incubate for a moment. Okay, so that is the standard approach. That's something that can be done daily, be integrated into other processes or areas of healing that you're doing currently, or it could be part of what you would call an Auric Stack, where you take other Auric programs and stack them together and do those on a daily basis for a healing process. But now we're going into the advanced approach, which is something you might only do once or twice a week. It takes a little bit for your energy body to process this. So, you do it and then you step back and you let things happen for a little bit. And then you do it again, right? So we're starting with the advanced approach. Your awareness is on the left side of the body, left side of the face and neck, the left shoulder, ribs, hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Now you're doing the back side of the body, the whole back of the head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of the legs to the heels. The right side of your body. Your awareness is on the whole right side. Right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder, all the way down the side of your leg to the right outer ankle. The front side of the body. Your awareness is on the whole front side. Your face and throat, your chest, abdomen, down the fronts of your legs to the tops of your feet. And then just pause and be still. Let's begin inhaling with your awareness on your knees, either your whole knee or the back of your knee. Your awareness is on the ankles. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the ankles. And then the soles of your feet. Your awareness is on the soles of your feet. Just pause and be still. Okay, we're going back to the 4 quadrants, left side of your body, left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder, ribs, your left hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. You're on the left side of your body. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The front side of your body, the whole front side. Awareness is on the front side of the body, down the whole front side. The right side of your body, the whole right side. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And the back side of the body, the whole back side. Back of the head, the back, the hips, all the way down to the heels. Your awareness is on the whole back side of the body. And then pause and be still. Let go and be still. You're just being still. Begin inhaling. Your awareness is on the brain. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the brain. Your awareness is on the spine. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the spine. Your awareness is on the brain and spine, both at the same time. the brain and soles of your feet. As you inhale, move your awareness up above your ankles. As you exhale, move your awareness down into the earth. just pause and be still. How'd that do for you? Me just sleeping. Notice your body, your emotions, your thoughts. And then let's go ahead and share.
You can unmute yourself. You can type into the chat. I'll make it easy so you can even type into the group chat. But also you'll be able to message over to Plant Prana Oils or to Apothecary Geek. And let's just keep it to our programming shares and questions right now. And then we'll do the regular Q&A and after this. Just until anybody else jumps in, I wanted to share when we did the brain, soles of the feet, it was like I went somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like I was gone forever. And then I came back and it was like you kept us on the brains and souls for a while, even after I came back. And I was like, whoa. And then when we moved them up, it I don't know, it was a different kind of energy. It felt like moving. And so that was very interesting.
Yeah, I used to use this blend for meditation, like a long time ago. Like it's, I don't know, it's quite nice.
Well, we just have one share right now, or we have a couple shares in chat. So if you guys want to go ahead and raise your hand right now for the regular Q&A, you can. So we'll do these shares here in the chat, and then we'll go into the regular Q&A. Someone shared, I felt my brain kicked into overdrive. And another said, yeah, that was a deep one. Seemed like I was swimming in a purple and gold portal.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. You know, like anytime you see violet, your body's raising vibration, or at least an area of the body. And then gold is spiritual energy that's being physicalized. And so I could easily see that happening, especially violet in the mind, like the mental processes. But it could also impact your physiology. Because if you think about it, like your mind is also tied to your instinctive responses, and your mind is also tied to emotions and your emotional processing. Like all of this makes up what we would call the mind. And so, yeah, it regulates a lot more than just your thinking. A lot of what our thinking is just the endocrine system functioning through the nervous system or through the brain. So in theory, this actually even kind of begins to impact the endocrine system and communication between the glands, but also our reaction. And if you look at the idea of materialization or the materialization process, especially when you're looking at the materialization of light, there is these like four aspects. And there's the initial interaction or the attraction of light, or the light starting to enter in the system. And a lot of times, if you break it down to your physiology, this is tied to immune function. And then we still have endocrine and nervous system, and then eventually the mind, as the component. And so you would think that then the next component would be the nervous system. But when it comes to the light, the endocrine system plays a role I mean, this is very mystical or esoteric, but at some point, you're either engaging in repetition or you're having a new spontaneous experience, right? You're allowing for something new or different to come in. And this is actually tied to how we interact with the environment and how the environment affects us. We go back to that idea that we talked about in a class earlier in the year where we talked about resonance. How does how does you know how does our energy body affect the environment, and how are we affected by the environment? And this is in certain circles when they talk about these four aspects of the light, you would call that like magnetic or magnetism. In Buddhist practices, you would refer to this as sound, the sound, which is not like your words, but it's like the frequency that is either in the environment or within you that affects. And so if you really break it down, again, like I said, this is kind of a mystical or esoteric way of looking at this, but this particular process is tied to that, is that if you boiled it down, like if you're sitting there watching the light, are you letting the light in, or are you going to the light, bending and manipulating it so that it fits in your little repetition? You're maintaining the repetition. So if the endocrine system is inflexible, the tendency is to bend the light to fit the repetition of the intellect. So the manifestation of this is, think about like interactions you've had with people where you maybe give them a piece of information or you tell them something, and the only thing that they listen to or hear is the thing that validates the thing that they already know. Like they seek out things that only validate what I already know. Like that's what it is. And, in the extreme, I've talked about this before where I had a boss that basically said, if you don't agree with me, it's because you're not smart, right? It's not that you have a different opinion or a different perspective, or maybe are in the process of learning something, but it's like, if you don't fit into my repetition, then it's because you don't get it because you're not fitting into this repetition. And so, you know, that whole idea of the intellect is we seek out things that validate things we already know, not new experiences, not new pieces of information, not seeking out truth. Like, I think this about this person, I think this about this situation. And on the flip side, if you watch people in the middle of an argument, instead of saying, like, I'm presenting my information and maybe I need to present it better, it's like, I'm going to get a bunch of people on my side and we're going to keep saying the same thing over and over again, right? That is still another version of the intellect. And I'm going to bend and manipulate the light so that I don't have to move or shift. And if you look at the idea of the materialization process, it is a process. It is, you're looking at the movement of something, a light, essence. And so first you're bringing something in, and then you're generating a kind of inertia or movement that needs to be maintained. And then eventually it gets integrated. And then there's kind of a settling or a shift in consciousness or shift in the mind. And we laid that out in the last materialization class. We didn't lay out the last part, but we did the first three, which are the hardest to get. And so that second part about being able to maintain something, you could call it could call it inertia, you could call it sound, you could call it resonance, you could call it a correspondence, right? You know, correspondence, because if you're distracted, the tendency is to get pulled away from materializing the light based on our past experiences. But if you're focused and you're really trying to bring in light or truth or like an angel or something, the correspondence is the angel or the light. And like that becomes the focal point. And so the materialization process is basically the manifestation of light, or you could even say on a deeper level, it's the manifestation of divine order. Like when people talk about divine order, they throw that idea around like it's just this thing. Divine order is a four-part system. Like it's four pieces that bring things into materialization. And so this idea of, you know, just even working the mind in this aspect, it has that impact on being able to allow the light in, allowing the truth in. And really what you're also saying is you're allowing your true nature, you're allowing the soul in. Why do we have to wake up and realize ourself, our true nature or ourself is because due to intellect, we turn away from ourselves. We turn away from our true self. We do it because of the mechanics of intellect, but then, you know, we have to rediscover ourselves. It's the rabbit hiding the Easter eggs at Easter. You got to find that egg. You got to find the soul. You got to find your true nature. Yeah, we could go on and on about that, but I don't know. I always find it interesting.
Well, and I appreciate you like talking more about it because I mean, maybe because we just did mind as well, but like it feels more clear, like
Mhm.
like even just when you were talking about like having the angels as that focal point, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can feel it. Like,
Mhm.
you know, the energy behind it is like it gives it more clarity, allows the light to come in, and also not force it. Like
Right.
you can't manipulate that
Right.
too. Like if you're going directed,
Right.
it's not like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's coming together.
Yeah.
Someone is wondering though, what is in this blend? This mind.
Oh, I'll have to look up. It's from so long ago. It's actually a very old blend. Um, I mean, not crazy old, but I mean, I probably made it 8 years ago, maybe. Let's see. Poplar balsam, Swazi, Ami Visnaga, Valerian, Neroli, Cistus, and Champaka. Yeah, it's quite an interesting blend, actually. Champaka.
I know.
So, that's delicious.
All right, guys, that will complete our week 30. And next week is the muscular system. So have your warming muscle support, also used to be called warming muscle tonic. But if you did the Auric Programming oils, it is your warming muscle support oil.